Senate Republicans resist, but they are unable to overcome Tuberville's military blockade. Republican senators challenged fellow GOP member Tommy Tuberville and his obstruction of promotions on Wednesday night by pushing to confirm over 60 military nominations, but the senator from Alabama is standing his ground. Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska spearheaded the move, which is the biggest GOP backlash against Tuberville so far as more Republicans publicly indicate their willingness to oppose the former college football coach. Tuberville has resisted expeditiously approving hundreds of officers in an attempt to compel the Pentagon to rescind the practice of paying for soldiers to travel for abortions. Sullivan spent many hours requesting votes on each senior officer by unanimous consent, accompanied by Republican Senators Joni Ernst of Iowa, Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Todd Young of Indiana, and Mitt Romney of Utah. However, in a rare instance of Republican-on-Republican conflict, Tuberville refused every proposal made by his colleagues. On the floor, Sullivan noted his opposition to the Pentagon's abortion policies, calling himself as pro-life as they come, and touted his work with Tuberville to try to find an off-ramp to the standoff. But he said Tuberville's tactics are hamstringing the military at a tenuous time in the world. The idea that some of these officers are supposedly woke or desk jockeys, it's ridiculous, Sullivan said. He called the hold-up a national security suicide mission. As the group wrapped up late Wednesday night, Sullivan's message to military officers waiting months for confirmation was, "Hang in there. We'll be coming here every night to try to get you confirmed," Sullivan said. During the lengthy floor fight Wednesday, Sullivan or one of his colleagues would call up each nominee by name, 61 in all, extolling their qualifications, and, finally, ask for consent to vote to confirm them. Sullivan noted several times that Tuberville had previously said he'd agree to votes on individual nominees. But Tuberville wouldn't back down, saying the Pentagon must repeal its policy before he drops his hold. He rebuffed arguments from his fellow GOP senators that he's hurting military readiness amid several crises, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine and Israel's war against Hamas. "I have to respectfully disagree with my colleagues about the effect of my hold on readiness. My hold is not affecting readiness," Tuberville said. Sullivan shot back that Tuberville's argument that readiness isn't impacted is 100% wrong. "We have a really dangerous world right now," Sullivan said. "And to say, 'Oh, don't worry, this isn't impacting readiness,' with all due respect to my colleague, that's just wrong. It's not even a close call." Graham, a retired Air Force Reserve officer, dinged Tuberville for delaying officers whom he said had no involvement in the Pentagon's abortion policy and warned his tactics would wreck the military promotion system if it becomes the norm in the Senate. "No matter whether you believe it or not, Senator Tuberville, this is doing great damage to our military," Graham told him. "I have been trying to work with you for 9 months. Folks, if this keeps going, people are going to leave," he warned.